In the words of Justin Timberlake, it's gonna be May.
I promise I had nothing to do with that, but like she said, it is May, so it's time for another monthly update. I cannot believe that's how you intro the video.
There are a few seasonal things that are coming to the parks this month. We just found out about a tribute store that's coming. We don't know exactly when it's going to be open. The best guess right now is late May, just because that's when last year's summer tribute store opened. And we're also not exactly sure where it's going to be located. It could be here on Hollywood Boulevard like the Mardi Gras tribute store was, or it could be back over by the Mummy, so we're excited to see about that. But there are also some seasonal food items, and just a few. They haven't announced any like food booths yet, but over at the Today Cafe, there's a new seasonal flatbread. We haven't had this one yet, but all of the previous ones have been absolutely delicious. And then there's also a new crepe. It's a sweet corn crepe, and we haven't tried that yet, but as your number one go-to source for crepes at Universal, we gotta try that for you guys.
That was good.
Yeah.
Like, really, really good.
Very good.
It was good enough that I was questioning whether it was better than the brisket crepe, and I think ultimately I like the brisket crepe better, but it's so good you have to try it. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm not even really a fan of corn, and so the fact that I ate it and enjoyed it really, really says something, but it is here for a limited time, so make sure you try it while it's here. And the best part was that there was almost no wait for it. Like, crepes usually take forever, and that's the shortest line we've had in a long time, which is probably reflective of how slow the parks have been lately. It just has not been busy here, and we expect that to continue through most of May. We would expect like the first 3 weeks to be really, really slow, and then towards the end, like Memorial Day weekend, when schools start getting out, the crowd should pick up around then, but for the most part, if you're coming in May, it is a great time to visit. You can tell that Universal is expecting the parks to get a little bit busier towards the end of the month because they're opening up early park admission at both parks. So Islands of Adventure has EPA for all of May. That's kind of just standard right now, but they're also opening it at Universal Studios starting on the 27th all the way through the end of the month, and they do that when it's going to be busier so that they kind of spread the crowds out between the two parks. And a little bit of a tip: pretty much everyone goes to Islands of Adventure because they're going straight to Hagrid's or Velocicoaster. So if you're a Harry Potter fan and you want to see Diagon Alley pretty much empty, come over here and check that out first thing in the morning. But Volcano Bay also has early park admission. That's going to be 30 minutes before park open all month long, and it does vary between like 9 and 10 in the morning, so you'll want to check on that. But another thing we noticed during the spring break crowds is that when it was busier, Volcano Bay actually hit capacity a couple of days. So if you're here towards the end of the month, you might want to try to get there early. Park hours are pretty standard this month, with the parks opening at 9 a.m. and closing between like 7 and 9 each night. So that's like 10 to 12 hours that the parks are going to be open. The only exceptions here are going to be on the first 3 Fridays of the month. So that's the 5th, 12th, and 19th. There is an event called Grad Venture that's happening. If you heard us talk about Grad Bash last month, this is the same thing, except for instead of being for high schoolers, it's for middle schoolers in the area. And they do close both of the parks down at 6 p.m. for that event. So if that's the only day that you're heading to the parks, that is a little upsetting that it does close so early, but they try to make up for it a little bit by opening the parks up an hour earlier. So they'll open at 8 a.m. with early park at 7. They're the best.
As we're leaving Universal Studios and headed over to Islands of Adventure, you may have noticed that we are carrying an umbrella, and it's not raining, but that's because it's that time of year again. The time of year where it could rain at any given moment. Like today, it was supposed to start raining at 1, it's currently 3, and we haven't seen a drop of rain. We get a lot of messages from you guys worried that the forecast is saying that it's gonna rain the entire time that you're here. And since we've moved down here, we have learned that we just don't really trust the forecast. If it rains, a lot of times it only lasts for like 5 to 15 minutes. We used to worry all the time when we'd have trips planned, like, oh, it's a washout. It's just gonna rain the entire time. But what we have learned is oftentimes it doesn't. We just come prepared. Also, what is an update video if we don't talk about Minions VillainCon? We don't expect it to open up in May, but it has gone up really quickly. I remember riding the parade floats, thinking that the cafe just wasn't ever going to be built, and now it's getting really close. They said summer of 2023. May is definitely not summer, even though it feels like it, but it's something to keep your eye on.
And now on to ride closures. There isn't anything that is currently closed in the parks, but Poseidon's Fury, right behind me, it is closing forever this month. It's right here, this way. The last day that you can experience this attraction is May 9th. As of May 10th, this will be closed forever. You will never get a chance to see Poseidon defeat Lord Darkanon or go through the water tunnel. So if that is something that you were wanting to do, make sure you get that done by May 10th, before May 10th, because as of the 10th, you cannot do it anymore. But that's not the only thing that is closing this month. Also, the Hogwarts Castle Light Show, it is closing this month as well. Thankfully, not forever though, but it is closing the exact same day as Poseidon's Fury. I guess Universal just decided that May 10th was a good day to stop doing things. So the light show will be ending. The last time that you can see it is the night of May 9th. So we suggest that you do that. But it is going down for an extended refurbishment, which is kind of exciting because hopefully it's going to be bigger and better when it comes back.
I just realized that means that there's not a nighttime show in either park right now because, like you said, the light show, Castle, Hogwarts light show, fireworks, Castle Spectacular, it's shutting down on May 9th. And then over in Universal Studios, the Lagoon show, so the Cinematic Celebration, that came to an end like a month or 2 months ago, and they've got like that whole pond basically drained, and you can just see the workings. So I guess the nighttime shows are going to be lacking over here at the parks. Universal, you need some entertainment out in City Walk. You've got our email.
At the end of last year, Universal announced that the Pass Holder Lounge in Universal Studios was closing down forever, and that a new one would be opening up in early 2023 in Islands of Adventure. So finally, right behind me, the new Pass Holder Lounge is finally going to open up on May 1st. It's right here in the Betty Boop store. They've got a bunch of cute like UOAP signage. We can't wait to get in there and see what that's all about. But it's going to be nice to have an official lounge again and not have to go to like the Five and Dime to get your magnets. And speaking of magnets, there is a super cute pass holder magnet this month. It's Jurassic Park themed. They've got pictures of it online. It is absolutely adorable. But there are a couple other like pass holder exclusives going on in the month of May. They have some exclusive food in both parks, City Walk, and at the hotels. And there's also like exclusive seating at Convisco's. There's a few other things going on, and you can check out Universal's pass holder page to get all of the information.
There are currently some good ticket and hotel deals going on at the parks, so make sure to check those out. If you've already got stuff booked, especially like for the hotels, you can call and check, and a lot of times Universal will allow you to rebook at that lower price, so always keep that in mind. But thanks for hanging out, guys. It was a fun time, and we hope you're ready for your trip in May. If you want to check out the newest food booth over here in Islands of Adventure, make sure you hit this video right up here. But we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, 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 bye.